Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? You can go ahead and give a reaction if you can hear me. Hello? Okay, great. Nice. I can hear you guys as well. So we are just 5 minutes away from the live stream. Hopefully, we have quite a number of people joining before the 5 minutes starts. Our actual time is 4 p.m. GMT. And welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad to meet every one of you here. This session is our introduction session where we discuss quite a number of things, including getting to know each one of you, your strengths, your weaknesses. I'll also share our roadmap of what we'll be looking at and some projects that we'll be working on. So this mentorship is actually free for everyone who wants to scale in their DevOps career. I'm here to guide you. Majority of the work, the learning and everything else depends on you. If you have any questions, you can ask me any questions. So we'll do a Q&A session after my presentation. And so just prepare all the questions that you have, and then I'll do well to answer all your questions as well. Yes, we still have quite a number of people joining. We have 3 minutes to 4 p.m. GMT that we can actually start. So, and to those who just joined, you're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate all of you being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, kindly go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Majority of everything that we'll do here, we'll be doing it on the channel. And so it is important that we subscribe to the channel. Also, we'll be having live demo sessions as this project goes on so that everybody can see how real world DevOps, real production grade DevOps pipelines and infrastructure is built. I promise to give you people 100% of my knowledge. And so that is what I'm going to do. And also, I want you to remember that I am not asking anybody for money. So if someone contacts you from the group and say, the person is asking for money on my behalf, please flag it and then let me know as soon as possible. Someone is asking, what are the prerequisites? There are actually no prerequisites because we are starting everything from the ground up. It doesn't matter the career domain you are coming from. If you are in sales, if you are in marketing, anything that if you also have any experience or you are just transitioning from a different career domain to DevOps or tech, you don't need any prerequisites. DevOps is one of the friendly fields. All you need to do is to ensure that whatever project you are working on, you understand how the tools work, how to pin those tools together to produce something meaningful. In DevOps, we call it infrastructure. And so you don't really need a prerequisite to this. All you have to do is to just stick to our mentorship model, and every project that I push to the group, make sure that you do the project. We'll have live demo sessions to go over the project. We'll also discuss have Q&A sessions whereby we can talk about the project and then also things that you don't understand. So this will help us to be able to share knowledge across everybody because we are many. And so these are the platform where I can be able to meet all of you, we share knowledge together, and then I can guide you on things that you don't understand. So you can keep your questions coming. I'll also be do well to answer all your questions. Someone says, "Hi, sir. Can you tell us about your journey?" Yes. So I started tech in 2020, right in university when I was in my final year. I was fortunate enough to join a team whereby everybody's learning was a priority. So what actually happened was that I joined a fintech company with no experience. Even though I'm a information technology student with my major being network engineering, I literally had no knowledge of coding or anything. In our part of the world, in Africa as a whole, most of our work or most of the things that we do in tech, we write code on paper here and there. And so I would say those are my experience. But I was fortunate to do my internship with a software engineering company. It wasn't about the money, because at that time they were just giving you transportation, which it wasn't good enough. But at the end of the day, what I was looking for was the experience and not necessarily the money. And so I wasn't really looking into the money. So when I joined the team, I think we were four guys from different universities when we joined the team. Some went to front end, and then some of us also went to back end. So that is where I started learning to code. So it took us like 6 months to be able to fully grasp coding. And then after that, we built a project. And the project that we built was a payment gateway for like supermarkets, like ShopRite and all those companies. That was the payment gateway that we built. But unfortunately, when we were about to go live with the product, there were management issues here and there, and then also funding became an issue. So the product couldn't see the daylight, and then the company eventually went off the software market. But I mean, it was a great journey, and one of the things that happened during my time with the company, when we built the product, now we needed to deploy the application to um, we needed to deploy the application. Unfortunately, we didn't have any experience with DevOps or anything that has to do with infrastructure. So what we did was that um, the company at that time was struggling. So we didn't even bother. We took our own money to buy AWS course from this platform called A Cloud Guru. I don't know if you guys have heard of A Cloud Guru before. So that was where everything started from. So we bought AWS course from A Cloud Guru, and then we started learning AWS. It took us a month to be able to learn AWS. Whilst learning AWS, we're building the infrastructure. So everything that we learn is like we're implementing it along the line. That's how come we're able to build the infrastructure. I was actually the lead on that particular journey, that infrastructure journey. And so once we learn something, we go on, we build the infrastructure, and that's how come we're able to deploy the application. And the unfortunate thing happened when we're about to go live. The company were having management issues, and then also an issue with finance here and there. So that was basically what. So that was how my journey started. Okay, that was how my journey started. I've also met people. I've also met people that were not even tech. service. Like they don't have any tech background. They were from marketing, and some were even like different domains, some even law and all of that. So they transition into tech and they are making big moves in tech. And so if you are here, you join this call today, and then you don't have any experience in tech, you don't need to worry because everything we are going to do will start from the basis. My duty here is to guide you guys so that you know what is actually happening in the tech industry. We didn't have any mentor as at that time because 2020 tech was very new to Africa. And so coming up, we were going through a lot of challenges, but we didn't let that stop us from achieving our goal. We're able to handle the pressure. We move from one end to the other, and today we are here. And that is what we call persistence. So whilst we are here, things will be very difficult, but the good thing is that you have me here who have the experience to be able to guide you, explain things to you on what you need to do and all of that. And so all I need you guys to do is to bring your A game, ensure that we are doing the right thing. And I bet you that in the next 6 months, um, you look back and say, wow, is this me? You'll be so proud of yourself and what you have done. So you guys should just take and then follow my directions. And then after 6 months, you say, yes, you have made it. And you also call yourself a DevOps engineer, a senior DevOps engineer. For jobs, don't worry. I will teach you tricks and steps on how to learn job roles, things that you need to do, and all of that. One thing you need to know is that now the market is so saturated. The tech market is so saturated, but the most important thing that can land you a job is not about the skill. Yes, the skill is good, but your network, your relationship with people is very important. Let me give you people one background about me. Most of the jobs that I've had is because of the people that I relate to and the community that I've built. Some were recommendation here and there, and that is what has kept me going. And the good thing too is that every single recommendation that I've had, every company that I work in, I try to give my 1001% so that at the end of the day, I don't disgrace the people who recommended me. So if somebody recommend you into a job, there's this high expectation on you that you need to deliver so that at the end of the day, the person can trust you and then recommend you in the future for other opportunities that will come. But if somebody recommend you and then you are not able to excel, you are not able to do the job, you are not able to perform well, the person will be find it difficult to recommend you for jobs in the future. And so I entreat everyone that build a community. This community is great, but I'll also share some links to communities that you can join. Some people are sending me WhatsApp messages. Kindly hold. Let me read some of the messages. Good evening, sir. The live stream is not working. Is the live stream not working really? Can you guys hear me? Please react if you can hear me. Someone is saying the live stream is not working. It is working. Okay. Okay, great. I think probably the person may be having issues with their connection. Okay, so let me send the link to them. I'm sharing the link to them so that they can subscribe to the link. Okay. Wow. Some people are saying the link is not working. Give me a minute. Let me copy the link and share it to them again. Sorry, guys. Other people have issues with the link, so Yes, yes. I'm sharing the channel link. I'm sharing the channel link. Let me. Okay, okay, yeah. Let me send this into the group rather. So please use this link. Okay, so yeah. So after this call, what I will do is that I'll also open the channel. I'll open the channel so that the channel becomes open for everybody to ask questions, do all the necessary um project. So when you do a project, you can share the project in the group. You can share details about the project so that others can also learn. We have to be collaborative. And then also mind you, whilst you are all in a group, okay, don't just do like private learning. You see, one thing about DevOps is that if you stay in your corner and then you learn, nobody knows what you are working on. Nobody knows what you are building. Nobody knows your skill. Explore, okay, make friends in a group. I know even though I am in Ghana, I have friends in the US, I have friends in the UK, I have friends in Nigeria. I have friends all over. I have friends in Portugal, I have friends in the Netherlands. So these are community that I have built for myself. Do you get it? So at the end of the day, if an opportunity come, I have friends all over these places that can recommend me for what? For jobs. So I entreat every one of you here that make sure that in the community, don't just limit yourself to learning in your own corner, but make friends in a group. You can even form personal groups so that sometime when I post some projects, you can work on the project together. This, you see, group studies is good because it brings out different suggestions from different people. So at the end of the day, somebody, your perspective about a particular infrastructure or how to build a particular infrastructure may be different from how someone else in your group may see it. That is why when you work in a proper organizational settings, most organizations work in teams. They don't work in isolation. And so I entreat you that once you are in the group, make sure that you associate yourself with people in the group that you can do projects with. These people can become lifetime friends that you can also associate yourself with. They can be linked to opportunities. They will, oh, I have a friend that I know who is very good. I want my friend on the project. They can recommend you for these jobs and all of that. So make friends as much as you can. I've seen a lot of questions. So let me just start answering the questions whilst we are on the call. Somebody said good evening from Pakistan. Welcome. Uh, will we be able to get the recording? The recording is on the channel, so please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. It is very important because most of our demos and stuff that we'll be doing will be on the channel. So sometimes I'll give you a project. We'll organize a global call. We go through the project. We do a demo session of the project from my experience, and then I can share insight onto what you have done wrong and how you can improve it. So please subscribe to the channel. Anyone else here from Pakistan? Yes, there are Pakistanis in the group. You can link up with them and then also help form your personal group that you can work on projects. Okay, it's working. It's working. It's working. Okay, okay. Um, okay, so the latest link. Okay, okay. So I just pasted the latest link so you can use that. Okay. 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 Somebody said I'm a pharmacist. How can I make my place in DevOps? I already know how to work with Linus and pursuing RHCSL certification. Okay. So yes, senior pharmacist, welcome. If you want to make your place in the DevOps, you are in the right mentorship group. Like I said earlier on, everything we are going to do, I am treating each and every one of you here as juniors, as starters. And so everything we are going to do in our community will be from scratch. So if you don't have any experience, don't worry, just stay in the community. Every single knowledge that I share, every single project, and also before I put a project in a group, I'll make sure that I explain what the project is about and what requirements the project needs and what I'm looking for in this project. And so this will give you better understanding. I'll not just push project into the group. I'll push projects with proper explanation, guidelines, and step-by-step guide. Somebody said practically a newbie. Yes, 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 yes. Practically a very, very newbie in DevOps. Okay, everything in the world is about networking. Yes, that is great. Everything in the world is about networking. You know, in the early 2000s when CVs were like the ish. So you polish your CV, send it to the organization, and a whole lot you get job. And now nothing is about CVs anymore. CVs, yes, you can have a CV, but what make you stand out is you being able to prove that yes, I can do the job, I have the right skills, I have the right community recommending me for jobs. And so networking is very, very important in our era. Okay. So don't sleep on networking. If you have the opportunity to join any community, make the most out of it, make friends from the community. These are the friends that will help you get jobs. These are the friends that will help be accountable to yourself and then also build knowledge upon what's um existing knowledge that you have. Thank you so much. So looking forward to learning under your mentorship. Thank you also for being here and being a great member of this group. Okay, so I think we've spoken much. Please, you can keep your questions coming. You can keep your questions coming whilst I do my presentation on what our roadmap will be. I will also make time to answer your questions as well. And so I'm going to share my screen. Please, if you can see my screen, let me know. I'm going to share my screen so that I walk you through our um our roadmap. Yes. So if you cannot see my screen, let me know. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Please react if you can see my screen. Okay. Okay, so I guess we are okay, great, great. Everybody can see my screen now. So this is our roadmap. Okay. This is our roadmap. So DevOps roadmap, step by step guide for DevOps, and then SRE or any other operations rule that you want to venture or engage in. And so, first of all, I want you to understand what these colors mean. So we have the purple, that's a personal recommendation. So this is a community where on GitHub, I've been contributing to this project for. So please, if I can't see your comments, I'll come back to the comments and then read them because I'm currently on the roadmap screen. And so when I come back to the comments, I'll be able to see your comment and then I'll read them and then answer your questions. So please pay attention to the purple the green, and then the gray. So these are personal recommendations and then opinions. We also have alternative options. Maybe for the green, these are alternative options that you can pick, and it should be in your own interest, something that you are interested in. But your key focus should be on the personal recommendations. And then the gray is order in roadmap, or it is not really strict to anything. And so this is a roadmap. Now, when it comes to DevOps, okay, having a programming knowledge or programming skills is also important. But one thing that I want you to understand is that I know most people don't like programming, but don't get scared, okay? You don't have to be programming savvy like a back-end engineer or a front-end engineer. No. As a DevOps engineer, your programming language should be something that can help you write automation script. We don't write that concrete business logic backends like a typical backend engineer would have. No. And even now that there is AI, it is important that you leverage AI in your workflow. I always preach about DevOps engineers integrating AI into their workflow because they help to improve your productivity. Okay. Gone are the days when I used to spend hours writing automation script with Bash and then Python. Now I don't even do that. Anything that I want to do, I just, go to any AI tool of my choice, write my prompts, and then voila, I get the script that I'm looking for. And so you need to understand any programming language, but not necessarily being a programming savvy like a typical back-end engineer or maybe a front-end engineer. And some of the recommendations will be Python. So for this mentorship, we are going to do a lot of what? Python. Okay, we are going to do a lot of Python. You don't need to, knowing the basics is just fine for you. Okay, knowing the basics is just fine for you. The rest, if you are interested in, and maybe as part of learning Python, you find the rest interesting that you want to learn, it is also okay for you to do that. Like Go, Ruby, Rust, JavaScript, or Node.js. You can go ahead and then do that. And then our next in the mentorship programming will be operating systems. And in terms of operating system, we are going with Linux because Linux is very key to our work as DevOps engineers. Okay. Linux, every application that is running on the internet, that is running on a container today, is powered by what? By Linux. The base image of that application is what? Linux. So our focus will be on what? Linux. Okay. So once we finish that phase in our mentorship program, we move on to terminal knowledge. That's learning Bash scripting. Okay, so we'll learn scripting languages such as Bash scripting. Bash scripting is just also like learning Python. So Bash help us to also write a lot of automation scripts. And so it is important that we also know how to, we learn about Bash scripting. And so you can have knowledge in terms of Bash scripting, our focus will be on process monitoring, performance monitoring, networking tools, and then text manipulation, like how to manipulate text using Linux text editors and all of that, like Vim, and then also Nano. So these are examples of some text editors. So we'll look at all those things. If you don't know anything about it, just don't worry. We'll look at all those things. And then, so as you can see, we have Vim, Nano, and then Imas. So our focus will probably be on Vim and then Nano because they are the most popular ones. Personally, I use both, but the one that I use frequently is Nano. So if you are comfortable with Vim, you can choose to use Vim. If you are comfortable with Nano, you can choose to use Nano, and there wouldn't be any problem so long as it's helping you to achieve the results that you needed. And then from Bash scripting, we move on to version control systems. That is Git. We'll learn about Git. We'll learn about branching and all of that in Git. So you don't need to worry if you don't have any knowledge on Git. So we'll do a lot of learning on Git version control system, and then after that we'll move on to um, version control system hosting, such as GitHub. Our focus will be on GitHub, GitLab, and then Bitbucket. The architectural layout of these version control system hostings are the same. There is nothing new about them. Okay, there is nothing new about them. They all provide the same maybe web interface wise, they have different web interface, but the concept of version control system hosting is the same for GitHub, GitLab, and then Bitbucket. So you don't need to worry. Our focus will be on, if you understand GitHub, the rest should come easy for you, GitLab and Bitbucket. And then after we learned about the version control system hosting, we'll move on to containers. So now we'll be moving in. We'll be diving deep into what containers, and we'll start with what Docker. So with containers, we'll look at Docker. We'll look at what Docker is, why Docker, why is Docker now the ish instead of why Docker is now the ish instead of VM or virtual machines, and why so many people have adopted Docker. So we look at all this, and then we learn a lot about Docker containers as well. And then from there we look at so it's basically about forward proxy, reverse proxy, caching, firewalls, load balancers. So as part of learning about containers, we'll also learn about this stuff here, which is the forward proxy, reverse proxy, caching, and then firewall load balancers. Please, these are the advanced level that we'll be going into after we've done with the basics. And this will give you knowledge into, and also if you don't have any idea what all these things are, please don't kill yourself. Okay. Just relax. We will get to all these one step at a time. And as I said, in the next 6 months, please give your 100%, build meaningful friendships within the community. And at the end of the day, after the 6 months, you look back and say, is this you? All right. So yeah, that is very important. Now, from after we learned about containers, our next will be on what? Networking. So with networking, so in DevOps, networking is very important in DevOps, because every infrastructure that you provision, you have to set up networking layers and all those stuff. So it is important that we also learned about networking and what protocols. And in terms of that, we learn about FTP, which is file transfer protocols, SFTP, secure file transfer protocol, DNS, domain name service. We have HTTP, which is hypertext transfer protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, secure sockets, TLS. We'll also look at SSH. We'll look at all these things. Okay, so don't worry. And as part of the networking models. And then we also look at, as part of learning load balancers, we look at engineers, Kadi, Apache, Tomcat. Our focus will be on Nginx. Okay, our focus will be on Nginx. If you find Tomcat, when I was learning DevOps, I think my focus was on Nginx, but Tomcat and then Apache came like along the line, maybe on a personal project that I needed them to do some, just that, but they weren't part of my curriculum. But now I have knowledge in them. Some of the things come naturally once you get a job and you are doing like the hardcore stuff. So you don't need to worry. And my advice is that please, when we start this learning journey, okay, just focus on the material that I'm providing for you. don't learn too many tools. Okay, don't learn too many tools. People do that and then they just get stuck. They don't know what they are doing. So at the end of the day, you have so many knowledge about tools, but in terms of practical work, you don't know how to put these tools together to build an entire infrastructure or even deploy an application. So please follow my lead. Please follow my lead. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Okay. All right. Let's continue. So when we finish with networking, then we come to the almighty cloud providers. So with cloud providers, our focus will be on AWS. Somebody will ask, why not Azure? Why not Google Cloud? Why not DigitalOcean, Alibaba, Hetna, Contabo, Heroku? AWS is like the mother of all cloud environment. And I can tell you for 100% that AWS is being used by like majority of companies in the world. But recently I was doing a survey on like geographical use of cloud infrastructures. And when you go to America, Americans like are heavy on AWS. When you go to Europe, Europeans are also heavy on both Azure and then Google and then some AWS. The rest, I'm not too sure about them, but these three, Google, Azure, and then AWS. But we'll focus on AWS. Once we have knowledge of AWS, any other cloud environment that we have to work with wouldn't be a problem because at the end of the day, you already have the knowledge in one of them. So please don't pay attention to learning multi cloud. Okay, master one of the cloud, apply that knowledge in other cloud domains. Okay. And then after we build meaningful skills in the cloud providers, we move on to serverless. We look at Lambda, we look at Cloudflare, we look at Azure functions. But I think our major focus will be on AWS Lambda. Okay. The rest as and when you need it for project. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't upskill when you have the opportunity to. You can upskill them when you have the opportunity, but it is important that you understand one and build like a perfect hands-on experience on that before you can move on to others. And then we look at configuration management. For configuration management, yes, we do Ansible. Ansible is still widely regarded in the market. Some companies also use Puppet, some use Chef, but the most widely used. I'm focusing on like tools that are in demand. I'm not focusing on tools that are like, yes, also part of the trend. No, we are focusing on tools that are on demand, tools that actually help you get jobs, tools that you know that will help you get jobs, not tools that are part of the pack. No. So here for configuration management, our focus will be on Ansible. And then in terms of provisioning, we will look at AWS SDK, CloudFormation. Pulumi is new. Pulumi is new, but we will focus on Terraform. Okay, because Terraform is not going anywhere now. Terraform is still in the market, is still highly in demand in the market. Okay, so we'll look at Terraform. In the next 2 or 3 decades to come, maybe what might take over Terraform will be like CDKs for SDKs and then CDKs for cloud providers. Okay, so for now, we'll focus on Terraform because it's still highly in demand in the market. Now, for CI/CD tools, we'll look at Jenkins. Jenkins is like the mother of all CI/CD tools. We'll look at Jenkins, and then we'll also learn about GitHub Actions. Nowadays, a lot of companies are also using GitHub Actions. Some are also still with the old champion, which is Jenkins. And so we'll stick with Jenkins. We'll still stick with Jenkins and then learn about Jenkins. All right. So yes, so that's about the CI/CD tools, and then the next will be secret management. Secret management. We learn about how to manage secrets, application dependency secrets, database secrets, and all of that. We'll learn about how to manage, and there are some tools that you can like seal secrets. We have for AWS. We have like AWS Secret Manager and all of that. So we'll look at all those tools once. So these ones will be incorporated in projects that we'll be working on. Okay. These ones will be incorporated in projects that will be. So for every project that I give you, I'll list the tools that you need to use to do those projects. Okay. Yeah. And then we also look at infrastructure monitoring. For infrastructure monitoring, we look at Prometheus, we look at Grafana. I personally haven't used Datadog before in any of my projects because I love to leverage open source projects because I also do a lot of open source stuff. And so I love to leverage open source projects. So Prometheus, Grafana, we'll look at them, we'll use them in our monitoring infrastructure. Zabbix, I've used Zabbix before, but I don't know. It's been a long time. I haven't explored that tool for a while now. But as when I was exploring it previously, I found so many limitations on it, but I haven't used it in a while. And then for log management, now one thing you need to understand is that infrastructure monitoring is different from what log management. They are not together. Okay, so don't combine the tools. I believe it will become clear when we start the project. So we look at log management. Log management, we can use Splunk. Our focus will be on Loki. So Loki, for our learning purposes, our focus will be on Loki because I like using Loki a lot. You are free to also explore other tools in the project. Okay, you are free to explore other tools in the project. All right. So yeah. So in terms of container orchestration, okay, after we learn about log management, we'll move on to container orchestration. And with container orchestration, we look at AWS EKS. Okay, again, AWS EKS. Okay, now I am choosing AWS for this project, for this roadmap learning because AWS is like has the wide community base. Okay, has a very wide community where it is easy for you to find information that you are looking for. Okay, and once you understand AWS cloud infrastructure into details, working with other cloud environments is not a problem because you already have the foundations, networking and all of that. You already have the foundation. So Google Kubernetes, Azure Kubernetes, working with them, once you understand AWS, EKS, it is easy for you to work with those container orchestration tools. And then we also look at ECS and Fargate. Docker Swarm, we will not do Docker Swarm because for quite a long time now, I've not seen people talking about Docker Swarm a lot because now there is a lot of Kubernetes noise. And I want you to know that in everything that you do in DevOps, no Kubernetes like the way you eat every day. Why? Because Kubernetes is the future of container orchestration. Don't let anybody lie to you. Kubernetes is the future of container orchestration. So yes, we look at AWS EKS, which is a managed service. So we'll look at Kubernetes, vanilla Kubernetes. We'll start with the vanilla, and then we'll move on to the managed service by the cloud providers like the GKE, EKS, AKS, and all of that. So then we'll look at ECS and then Fargate. So that's about container orchestration. Then we'll move on to observability. Observability, we'll still touch on Prometheus. And then we'll also touch on open telemetry. I see that companies still leverage open telemetry, so we'll touch on that. New Relic. Yes, New Relic to I'll give you some projects that I will say use New Relic as your observability tool. Okay. And then now there is something I want you to understand when it comes to monitoring and observability. They are not the same. Okay. Observability helps you to um check the reason why something is not working. But monitoring helps you to identify the problem, but observability gives you that visibility into why the thing is not working. So you need to note the difference between the two. Okay. Sometimes I see people interchanging those two words. They are not the same. Monitoring, observability, they are not the same. Okay. All right. And then for artifact management, we look at I don't know. Okay, we'll use Nexus. So we'll deploy Nexus. We'll do our own deployment. We'll do our own self hosting. We deploy Nexus and then host it ourselves for our artifact management. And then for GitOps we will leverage Argo CD because Argo CD is one of the tools that like is currently being in demand in the DevOps space. So we'll do Argo CD. And then also for service mesh, we'll look at EC2. Okay, EC2 is also one of the tools that a lot of companies use in their stack. And then finally, we'll look at cloud design patterns. We'll look at some architectural designs. Okay, and that's after the 6 months. All this will be done within 6 months. So look at the cloud design patterns, where you learn about availability, data management, design implementation, management. So it's mostly going to be about like designing proper infrastructure for production grade application deployment and all of that. And so that's basically all that we'll be doing. So this is our roadmap for the DevOps mentorship program. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me see if there are questions in the chat. Somebody said jack of all, master of none. Yes. So you don't have to master everything. Focus on relevant tools that are highly demand in the market. That is the mistake a lot of junior or people who are learning DevOps. That's the mistake most people do. They tend to spend time learning a lot of tools, but at the end of the day, most of those tools that they learn or use are not even in demand anymore. So for this mentorship program, we are focusing on tools that are highly in demand. Okay, that are highly in demand that can give you jobs. Some people will send me a message and say they've learned, they've done this, but they are still not getting job. Yes, you are still not getting job because you have not actually what you've done. Yes, you may have learned about DevOps and all of that, but number one, you are not getting job because you don't have the right skills. You don't have the right skills for the tools that are actually in demand in the various organizations. And number three, just learn for the learning sake. But in terms of proper um, understanding of how things actually work, you don't have that expertise. And so that is why you are not getting job. And then the last one, you don't have community. You don't belong to any community. You don't have friends in the industry. You don't network. You are just a solo developer in your corner, always doing your stuff. Please, if you are such a person, you you may have all the DevOps knowledge and all of that, but I'm sorry, you will not get job. The industry doesn't work like that. A lot of things has changed in the industry. So it is important that you leverage community work. Somebody said, are we going to touch ELK? Yes, of course, we'll touch on ELK stack. It is also very important because some organizations are using the and the enterprise subscription. So it is important we'll touch on ELK stack. Can we have the link to this roadmap? Yes, I posted it in our mentorship group, but let me post it in the chat so that you can have access to it. Yes, I just paste it in the chat. How do you differentiate between cloud engineer and DevOps? Since they use almost the same tools. So there's actually not much difference in terms of being a cloud engineer and a DevOps engineer, but for a slim difference, cloud engineers tend to focus on security, infrastructure, and all of that, networking and all of that stuff. But DevOps engineers mostly focus on building application release pipelines and yes, but in terms of, I mean, in our part of the world, Africa, for instance, if you're a DevOps engineer, you're also the cloud engineer because most companies in Africa are like startups, and so if you become a DevOps engineer, you have knowledge, you do your cloud infrastructure provisioning. Me myself, as a DevOps engineer, every company that I've worked with in, I do most of the cloud engineering and DevOps together. So yeah, it is. There's no difference, no much difference in how DevOps and cloud engineers operate. Yeah, hope that answers your question. Also, say, can you tell us where you are from? Yes, I'm from Ghana. I'm in Ghana currently. Your current working experience, where you've been working? Oh my God. So I started my DevOps career in 2020, so 2025. So statistically, I have 4 years experience in DevOps. For my current working experience, I've worked with about, including consulting, I've worked with about 10 companies so far. Yes, in my DevOps journey. And most of the projects I've worked on are microservices applications. I've also worked in the fintech industry with companies that have done some work for. If you've heard of AfriCell, I've worked on a project for AfriCell, which is currently live. And so, yeah, that's just my experience. I'm also taking real life projects from a boot camp and the roadmap aligns with yours. Are we permitted to share resources that might help others? And yes, of course. Of course, this is a community. So if you have any resource that you can share with the group, it is also allowed. After this call, I'm going to open the group, the WhatsApp group, so that you can send every information that you want to send into the group. So yes, you can send anything that you want to send. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. What is the estimated time per session? When you say session, what do you mean? Like the projects, or like, can you clarify what you mean by the estimated time per session? Can you clarify it? Yes. I'm still taking in questions. I'm still taking questions. Ask all the questions that you need. Um, oh, you mean estimated time per teaching a day? So what we are gonna do mostly will be on project base. I will give you projects, give you the project requirements, share tools that you need for the projects, and then also once majority of you have completed the project, we'll host a live demo session whereby we go through the projects, and then also where you need improvement on the project, I will let you know. Yeah, so yes, majority of our projects will be, our sessions will be on project based. So If you're asking of the time, I can't assure you because sometimes we can even spend time debugging, resolving issues. So yes, I can't really tell, but most of the sessions will be recorded. So in a day where you cannot make it, you can still come back and then watch the recording session. You can still come back and watch the recording session. Sharing resources to the WhatsApp group might be too much. What if we open the Discord community? Yes, that is also considered. So I will try and open the community and then we can put the resources there where we can have access to the resources. WhatsApp will also be our communication questions and answering and then project as well. Do you have project plan for the 6 months? Yes, of course, there are projects planned for the next 6 months. It depends on you, the individual who will be working on the projects, if you have enough capacity for that. Good projects is the best. Yes, of course. You will be covering everything like Linux, Git, Docker, and Kubernetes. Yes, we will be covering everything. In my roadmap, I mentioned all these things. So yes, we'll be covering all these things. It is important because these are the things that actually get you job. Kubernetes, Linux, Git, Docker, they get you the job. So yes, we'll be covering all this. How many days in a week for classes? Um, Days in a week. So we don't really have number of days in a week, but every day, Monday to Friday, um, is project days. Weekends, we take the weekends to review the project and then also resolve issues that you are facing. I know most of these projects, some of you will have challenges, and so we probably spend some weekends resolving these issues and then also improving your project knowledge base so that nobody is lacking behind. I'm already almost 2 years into DevOps and it's going well, but I have experience with most of the DevOps tools. I'm here to be a part of the community and also have deeper knowledge in these tools. Yes, welcome, 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 welcome. Are we going to touch the ELK stack? Yes, I answered that question already. We'll touch the ELK stack. I know some companies are using the enterprise grade um, for their as part of their stack. So yes, we'll touch it. We'll touch it. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. We are. Yes, it's going to be an everyday class. Why? You have 6 months and you want to have time off. Please, I don't do time offs in my mentorship program. So bring all the capacity that you can. I want you guys to finish this mentorship program with a lot of knowledge and information in the DevOps industry. Okay. I want guys to leave this DevOps mentorship program with a lot of knowledge and information. These are the information and knowledge that get you jobs. Too many people are saying they don't get job. It's because they don't have the right informations and they are not associated with the right people. Okay. Now, one thing that I want you guys to do, okay, some things that I want to highlight now is that number one, I need each and every one of you to go and create a LinkedIn account. Okay. Create a LinkedIn account. One of the things that you'll be doing there is sharing your journey on the things that you are working on. Okay. Sharing your journey. If you don't bring what you do in public, nobody knows what you are doing. So it is important that you share your journey. You can go to my LinkedIn profile. Let me share my LinkedIn profile link here. And then you can check how I have structured my LinkedIn profile. And then also my GitHub. I know I've shared a link to my GitHub account. So you can, if you are not following me on GitHub, please go there and follow me on GitHub. And then also those of you who don't have a GitHub account, please create a GitHub account, okay? Because when a recruiter reach out to you, they also want to see your GitHub account and what you are doing there. So some of the projects that we are doing, you'll be pushing them to your own GitHub account as projects that you have worked on. Okay. It is important. It is important. Someone is asking a question. Thank you for all you do. Thank you also for being part of the community. Would there be basic training for people who are complete novice to this before the project starts? Yes, there will be a training. There will be a training. How much time it may take to get handy with shell scripting and Linus. So it actually depends on you, the individual. Okay, it actually depends on you, the individual, and how easy you are able to grasp things. I know we are not gonna do like advanced things that will get you from the start. We will do the basics. So once you understand the basics, then we move to the advanced. So we go in that order so that you don't get carried away, okay, or things becomes boring for you. So it depends on you, the individual, and how easy you are able to grasp things. Somebody is saying that's true. The LinkedIn has been helpful a lot of people. Yes, of course, you need to have a LinkedIn account and share your journey. If someone doesn't have knowledge on Git, Linux, Docker, Kubernetes, will directly work on projects. Will be okay. So yes, if you don't have knowledge, what we'll do is that our next session will be on Friday. Okay, I want to organize a session on Friday to also be streamed live, whereby we start some of these. We start with some of these basic knowledge on Linus Gate and all those stuff. We stand some of these. We have some of this basic knowledge. Okay. So we'll do a live stream on Friday whereby we go through all this. Okay. So those who are new can join those sessions. Right after this call, I'm gonna push a Python video in a chat in our WhatsApp group, where I would encourage all of you to take time to go through the course and then learn. On Friday, we'll touch base on that. Okay, on Friday, we touch base on that. So, yes, if you don't have basic knowledge on Git, Linux, Docker, Kubernetes, yes, we will I will try and organize a session on this so that we can learn the basics of this. But we won't do that now. We won't do that now until we are into these sessions in our roadmap. So as you can see, for our roadmap, first of all, we are starting with Python, and then we go to operating system. So when we get to operating system, that's where we will have a section on Linux. We will learn about Linux. We will learn about Linux command and all those stuff, processing, monitoring, and performance monitoring, networking, and all of that. So yes, we will take this step by step. Keep the questions coming, keep the questions on. So yes, like I was saying, I need each and every one of you. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, kindly go and create a LinkedIn account. I sent my LinkedIn and link in the chat. You can visit my profile, see the way I have structured my LinkedIn profile, and then you can take an inspiration from that, and then also structure your LinkedIn profile as such. The other thing that I also need you to do is create a GitHub account, because everything that we'll be doing is you would need to push your code, your automation scripts, and everything that you've learned to your own GitHub repository, so that when somebody wants to recruit you and they want to visit your LinkedIn profile, your GitHub profile, they can be able to see project that you've worked on and the knowledge that you've acquired over the years. The other thing that I want you to do is that create a private as part of your GitHub repository, make sure you create a private repository. Now, what you'll be doing in this private repository is that you are going to be documenting things that you are working on. Okay, the processes, the step-by-step guide that you have taken. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that it's not everything that you will learn today that you remember. It's not every project. It's not every automation script that you write today that you remember in the future to use it in another project. So document how you've been able to solve a particular Docker networking problem, Kubernetes networking problem. Like, document these things down. Okay. What this does is that in the future, when you face similar problems, you don't need to go to ChatGPT and start asking questions. You already have knowledge. You already have a whole documentation of how you encountered the problem, how you were able to solve the problem. And this will help boost your productivity. Okay. This will help boost your productivity. Let me take you to my, let me stop sharing this screen and take you to my LinkedIn, my GitHub, so that you can see what I am talking about. Okay. Now, this is my, can you guys see my screen though? Can you guys see my screen? Please react if you can see my screen. Okay. So this is my LinkedIn, sorry, my I keep saying LinkedIn. This is my GitHub profile. Okay. When you go to the repositories, these are repositories that I've created. Now there's one repository here called backups. Let me search for backups. So as you can see, this backup that I have here, this is a private repository. It's a private because I have created a lot of information, things that I've worked on, different tools that has helped me to resolve issues. When you open K, for instance, okay, I have a bunch of, there are some that I haven't pushed. They are on my laptop currently that I haven't pushed. These are different Kubernetes files that I've created when you open database scripts. So these are automation backup scripts that I've written so far for different projects. So every time I need to reuse these projects or these scripts, I just come back to my GitHub repository, copy them, modify it as to how the needs of the new project that I'm going to apply this script on to suit that. I don't need to write an entire script from the ground up. No. So what this is doing is that it's helping to boost my what? My productivity. So work that I can, maybe an automation script that I can spend like hours writing, I already have it there. A problem that I'm solving with automation script that can take me like 2 hours. It won't even take me up to 10 minutes because I already have the script. I just need to modify it to suit the current project and then run it. So as you can see, I have different DevOps flow. When you open the DevOps flow, we have different tools that I've worked on. When you come to Docker Compose, when you open the Docker Compose, you can see there are a lot of them that I've written. Some are just sitting in my machine that I have not pushed to this repository here, which I'll push. I have different files, different Docker files, Helm files that I've written. You can see different Helm files. A whole lot of Jenkins. So we have Jenkins script. These are all Jenkins automation scripts. We also have Kafka. So these are also a lot of Kafka automation scripts that are here. Microservices, depending on the project, what I need is this. So when you open app deployment.sh, for instance, I have a lot of tools here that I have written all of them down. that every time I need it, I just come here, pick it, and then use it for my project. So you can see how long that is. There's a lot of vital information here that I use. And this is a private repository, okay? Because I don't want this I don't want anyone to have access to this file. So yes, like I am saying, I need you guys to like there's a lot of them. You can see monitoring cluster, Nginx, shell script. So you can see these are all shell scripts that I've written for different purposes. There are a lot of them. Some are sitting on my machine that I've not pushed yet. So what I'm saying is that I want you guys to create I want you guys to create a private repository whereby every problem that you solve, how you solve the problem, you can document all these things. Because believe it or not, in DevOps, there are so many repetitive problems that occurs. There are so many tasks that you repeat. Now, you don't need to be doing this thing in cycles every time. Okay. You don't need to be doing this thing in cycles every time. But once you document these things and then you have them down, every time you have to work on something that relate to maybe backing up a database, writing out automation. So, for example, writing an automation script to back up a database, push that back up to a different server or maybe S3 bucket or anything, or writing an automation script to be able to simulate the backup, the database backup that you have created. You already have this script documented in your in a private file somewhere that you can always go and access it. You get it. So it is important that you always have these things documented to save you tons of amount of hours that you spend on writing these scripts. Okay. So the more you go ahead in your career, the more you document these things, a time will come that sometimes as soon as you see the problem, you know what the issue is, because this is something that you have worked on like hundreds of times. So even if you are asleep and then somebody wake you up and say, why are we getting um why is this Docker container failing? And then in the logs we are seeing back off loop one why. Now this, you have solved this problem several times. You have documented it. So even if you have forgotten, you go back to your documentation, look at the steps you took to resolve the issue. This becomes very simple. So instead of spending 1 hour to now investigate what the issue is and why this is happening, you already have the step-by-step guide. You've already like tackled this on several occasions. And so it makes it easy for you to be able to like go back to your documentation and spend less than 5 minutes to go through the documentation and quickly resolve the issue. And also make sure that when you are documenting like how you solve the problem here and there, every single command that you wrote to solve the problem, include those commands in your documentation. Because if anybody in the DevOps industry tell you that they can remember each and every command they've ever written or typed in their lifetime, they are lying to you. They are lying to you. You can't remember everything. You can't remember everything. And so it is important that you document these things so that it boosts your productivity. It's like it helps you like in terms of research to like handle problems. It reduces the amount of time you spend researching and resolving issues. All right, somebody is asking a question. Please drop the link to your GitHub profile. I thought I've done that. Let me drop the link again. All right, so you can have the link to my GitHub profile. I hope you get a video of this lecture. Yes, the video is recorded on YouTube, so you should be able to have it. Okay. The video is recorded on YouTube, so you should be able to have it now. All right. Yes. Do we have any more questions? If not, we'll be wrapping up. We are 1 hour, 15 minutes into the session. And so I will take a few more questions, then we can wrap up the session. Right after this video, I'm going to open the WhatsApp group and then also put the Python lecture into the group. So from now till the weekend, spend time to take the course on the Python. That's the beginning of our session. We'll come back. Please don't hesitate to push any question that you have in the group. Okay. If you come across anything during the Python lesson and then you don't understand, please put it in the group. I will do my best to answer those questions for you. Someone said, "My name is Isaac. Thanks for all you are about to share." Thank you also for being here, Isaac. You are welcome to the group. Thank you. It was quite a wonderful session. I'm glad you enjoyed it and then you learned so much from this session. There is more to come, so make sure, please, those who haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. Kindly subscribe to the channel, and let's make this journey a wonderful journey in the next 6 months as we upskill ourselves in DevOps and take over the world. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I learned so much from this session. Thank you also for joining. I really appreciate you joining. I really appreciate you joining. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you as well and taking your time to join the session. Thank you. All right, so please, I'm still stressing on this. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. It is important that we subscribe because, like I said earlier on, most of the things that we'll be doing will be on the channel, and so please subscribe to the channel. Let's go. You can also invite friends. And I'm still stressing on the community aspects. Don't be aliens in the group. Make sure that on the WhatsApp group, make sure that you form groups as well that you can work on project together. This will help you to grow. You don't have to be a solo learner. Make sure you join other people in the group, make new friends, get associated with others so that you can learn a lot from everyone. Okay. It is important that you learn from people than learning in isolation. The industry has changed a lot, so your network is very important. So kindly network. Thank you, sir, for the session. Thank you also for joining. I really appreciate it. So I'll bring the session to an end. If you still have any questions, kindly drop them in the WhatsApp group. I will do my best to answer all the questions. Please put the lectures for these cohorts in the playlist. Okay, so I don't know if YouTube live session will allow that, but I will check. And then try and do that as well. Thanks. So, all right, we have a question. Somebody, hello Lloyd. I'm a BTech student. I would like to learn DevOps, but I currently have no skills, any kind of Python or coding. I know AWS, Azure, that is it. What else should I learn? You don't have to stress yourself too much. Just follow our mentorship program step by step. Every single lesson that we are going through in the mentorship group, just follow it and follow the guide as well. We are doing this for the next 6 months, so just prepare yourself. Prepare your laptop to install all the necessary things that you need to install. We wait the Python learning material. Sure, I will share it in the group. Somebody said, I'm so pumped for this. Yes, I'm glad you are. To a productive 6 month. Thank you, Lord. Thank you too for joining. Saman, Jerome. I'm Aaron from Ghana. I understand starting this journey alone can be overwhelming, but having a mentor like you will be very essential. Thank you once again for making time to do this with us. Thank you also for joining, Aaron. I'm also in Ghana, so if you have any if you have anything to share, if you have any problem, just let me know in the group, and I will do well to answer all the questions that you may have. Planning to be good at it before the 6 month mark. Yes, I like that energy. I like that energy. That was a great mentorship session. Thank you also for joining. I really appreciate all of you. So thank you guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. Those who are new here, please subscribe to the channel. And then also I'm gonna open the group so that we can have more questions in the group, and also this Python lecture will be posted in the group. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a great night. For those who are day and night, everywhere you are in the world, have a great evening. Have a great day and enjoy yourself. There's a question here. Say, hello, Lloyd. This is a self-paced learning. Yes, it is a self-paced learning, and also another. There is also a mentorship demo sessions that we'll be having as well. It's not just about you, um, but I'll also be involved in your learning as well. So yes, the class is already feeling so comfortable. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity as well. Thank you for joining. Um, all right, everyone. I'm gonna end the streaming. So have a great day, and keep your questions coming in the group. Or if you find it worthy to come and watch the video again, please post all the questions that you want to ask in the comment section, and then I do. Let's make the community interactive. Let's make the community interactive. So thank you guys, and have a great day. Have a great evening. Bye bye.